Welcome to Blender Frenzy. I am Justin, finally back here again with you. I've been MIA, missing in action for a long time. I know, I'm sorry. Lots of things going on, lots of things in life. I had some website issues with some hosting, got that taken care of, and then I had some health issues where I just wasn't feeling well for a couple weeks. And I'm feeling better now, and all the hosting issues seem to be okay, but lots of things going on with life. Anyway, that's not why you're here. You're here about the freeze frame. But in order to talk about the freeze frame, we have to know a little bit about how the video and the auto strips are built in Blender and how they work, because they could be different than some of the other popular video editors. And to demonstrate this, I have a little clip here that I made. It's just of me. I'll just play this here. Just me being really cheesy and jumping up and down like a moron. But anyway, I'm just trying to get some good shots for the freeze for when we do the freeze frame. Yeah, so we've got some pretty good shots there to work with. Anyway, I've already done a proxy, although it doesn't look like it saved it for some reason. But I am using Blender 2.93, which I'll be doing a video in a little bit here going over the changes, the new stuff in the Blender 2.93. But I believe this is, I said it's proxy setup as manual. Huh. I wonder if, oh wait, hold on, I don't have it selected. Ah, there we go, yeah. Anyway, there you go. I have a manual proxy set up. That's why it's as smooth as it is right now. But that is not what we're talking about either. So to understand how to do a freeze frame in the video sequence editor, we have to understand the mechanics behind the strips. And to demonstrate this, I'm actually going to answer some questions I got about my last video about the speed control and why I use a meta strip instead of just putting it directly on the strip itself. And the reason I do this also relates to how you make a freeze frame. So first, let's take a look at what makes up a strip in Blender. So video and audio strips are made up of two things: the strip itself that you can see here with the handles on either end, and the video and the audio inside of it. So if I select both of these and I press S, that slides the video and audio. And if I move my cursor to the right or to the left, you can see these dark areas that come at the end. And that's just the end of the video and the audio. So you can see that video and audio being slid back and forth. And you can see that even though I'm not moving the playhead, the cursor, on the timeline, you can see that the preview is updating because I'm moving that video and audio past it. And if I move my video and audio all the way over here, then there's still some hanging out over here. And we can demonstrate this by selecting a handle and pulling it out. And you can see I can pull that out till the end of the video right over here. Now I can do the same thing with the audio, but you can see actually the audio doesn't go past that. I'm just going to undo that here real quick to get this back here. Another way you can see what hangs out past here is if we come to our overlays, make sure our overlays are turned on, and then we can check offsets. And now you can see the offset where the video and audio are hanging past the end of the strip. Again, you have the video inside of the strip, but the video only shows where the strip is. Okay, so let's use a speed control on this. I'm just going to undo that until we get that all the way back here. And I'm going to go ahead and delete the audio. We don't need the audio for this. But I'm going to select this video and just put a speed control right on the video strip. So with the whole video selected, I put the speed control. So it's the entire video in the strip, and I haven't made any sort of cuts or anything. So if I take this and I drag it, again, we want to make sure that with our speed control selected, stretch to input strip length is checked here. So I'm going to take this handle and just drag it all the way here to about a quarter to, a fifth of the length. So now what should happen is it should play 4 to 5 times faster because it's playing the entire video in that short amount of time. So let's see what happens. Okay. And it does. This does exactly what we want it to do. However, if I undo that, if we take it from the beginning, and we pull this out to about 1/4 to 1/5 of the way. And then we come over here. It should play just like the first part, except for now it's going to be at the last part. It should play 4 to 5 times faster. And we play it, and you can see it doesn't change the speed one bit. It plays at the same speed of the original video. So why is this? Well, as far as I can tell, is that the speed control doesn't recognize any sort of cuts starting from the beginning. It will only recognize the cuts from the end handle, which means if we undo this here, actually just Alt-O to clear that offset, which means let's get rid of this because we want to make the cut first. If I make a cut, let's say right here, and then I take this and I add a speed control to it, and I take the end to here, thinking that I've shortened it just this strip. Well, I haven't. So this is faster. It's a little bit faster, you can see, but it's not 4 to 5 times faster. And that is because it's not recognizing this cut right here. It's not recognizing this handle. It's calculating it all the way back from the beginning, because what happens when you make a cut, if I bring this up, I can show you. You can see with our offsets still on, you can see that here, our offsets are still checked. You can see the offset of the video. When we make a cut, I'll just do this again. Clear that offset. When you make a cut in Blender's video sequence editor, it actually duplicates the entire video. And it only cuts the strips. So the strips are cut, but you can see from the offsets that you have the complete video from the beginning to the end on both of them. So you can see that video hanging out over here, and you can see the beginning of the video here. And if we do Alt-O to clear that offset, you have the whole video. It's just duplicated. And that's for any cut for any video and any audio as well. So we have these cut now. Actually, I just want to cut one. So just this one here, cut this. And then now we have 3 whole videos. Clear that offset, clear that offset. Okay? So a lot of people new to the sequence editor, they probably don't know that their video is actually being duplicated when they cut. So let's just get rid of these. Let's go back here. Let's cut that again. Add in a speed control. Make sure this is the active one. Add in a speed control. And then bring this back down. So what's happening here is it's not calculating the end from the cut. It's calculating the end from the beginning. And remember, it doesn't recognize the beginning. So if we move this up, it's like we took this from the beginning and we moved it all the way here. But the speed control doesn't recognize taking the beginning handle and moving it. It only recognizes the end handle. So it's taking, if we do this, it's shortening it a little, but it's calculating from the end handle all the way to the beginning. So to avoid this, what I do, let's get rid of this, is take this cut and put it into a metastrip. And once it's in a metastrip, then it's self-contained. And you can see if I drag the handles on either side, it's self-contained there. The beginning is here and the end is here. Which means if I add a speed control to this, then it's going to calculate that handle, that end handle, based on where the cut is here. And now you can see that does play about 5 times fast. But Justin, the title of this video says freeze frame. How do we do a freeze frame? Yes, I know. There is an alternate way to do this without the meta strip, and that gets into how we are going to do our freeze frame. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm also going to get rid of the meta strip. And by the way, I just realized I don't have my screencast keys here, and that's because I'm using Blender 2.93, and apparently it's broken for 2.93. So I will either have to go back to 2.92 to use the screencast keys, but for this one, it's not all that necessary. Okay, so I'm just gonna actually just delete this. We're going to Alt-O to clear that offset. Okay, so now let's make a cut, but instead of just pressing K, we're gonna press Shift-K. with it selected. And that looks like it did the same thing, but it did not. If we come up here to strip, you can see that you have split, which is K, which is also cut. I say cut. It's split, or a hold split, which also used to be a hard cut. So now if I bring this up, you can see there is no offset, and I still have that offset here checked, but it acts like a hard cut. So this is now the beginning. And you can see if I pull that over here, there's no more video. Same thing down here. There's no more video. And again, that's different than just pressing K. If I bring that up, you can see the offset, and the end of the video isn't right there. So let's undo that. But here we have made a hard cut where that is actually now the beginning of the video. And we can now do the same thing if we add in our speed control. Now that speed control is going to act just like our meta strip. But the reason I don't do it like this is because it's extra work, especially if I'm coming in here and I cut this one and then I cut this one. I either have to do a shift K here and then a shift K here, which is fine. But then if I decide, oh, actually, I want to make it longer or make it shorter, then I have to go in here and to my time, and you can see my hold offset. I can actually adjust the hold offset with these sliders here. But that gets a little bit tedious to do, and it's just easier to make a cut like this, just a regular cut, and then Control G to make a meta strip. Okay, and I can come in and I can change that a lot easier in the future, and it takes a lot less work. But Justin, you're still talking about speed control. Yes, okay, all right, right now we're getting into it. Freeze frame right now. So with all of the knowledge that you have acquired over this wonderful video, okay, so that's offset here. We're gonna clear that whole offset by coming here to our offset. Here's the end here. I'm just gonna click, I think 0. Yeah. So make both the hold offset, the start and the end, 0, and then you get back to the full length there. We are gonna find a freeze frame now. Now that you know how everything works, let's do what's the first one? Yeah, like this. Ta-da! I like that. Okay, and then we're going to press Shift K to make a hard cut. And now, if I move this, not the end, come on, just take the whole video and remove this out. And now, if I extend this, the hard cut will always hang on the last frame or the first frame, whichever end that you made that hard cut on. So here it will hang on that one, and same thing here, it will hang on this one. And then once that video starts again, then it will start. So what I like to do is just clear this offset and then pull this however long you want that, and then just butt that right back up there. And then we've got it playing and then jumping, and boom, yay! And then it continues to go again. And we can do the same thing with any of these other ones. If I do a spin, there's my spin one. We'll do it there. Shift K, and then we can pull that one out here like that. Ta-da! Now you can do the same thing with a meta strip, but I ran into some problems. It was a bit buggy, so let's just go ahead and do that. Like we'll okay, that's lovely face right there. So I'm just gonna make a regular cut, and then we'll put this one in a meta strip, and then just pull that out, and that works basically just the same. But if you ever want to do something like adding modifiers like color correction and stuff like that, then this one seemed to get really buggy. So I don't know why, and I don't know if that was in 2.92 or 2.93. I can't remember. But the hard cut, or the hold split, it's called now, works just fine. And this is something you can do. If we come to that right when we have that right when that stops. So right there on this frame here is when it stops. I'm just going to make a regular cut here. Oh, let's select this first, regular cut. And that way I can select this one and add a modifier to it. And so we can do something like, actually, let's go first before that, let's do strip color and then just bring that saturation all the way down. And then we can do like a curves modifier, maybe make that, bring those colors in a little bit more together. Something to make it where it's looking like photocopier paper, like you put it through a photocopy machine, and then you have like a 90s end, and then we're like the end of a video where you have the credits start rolling up on the screen. Yeah, ta-da! And then with this you know, funky music playing in the background. So yeah, and then of course it turns back to normal again. But yeah, doing this with the meta strip actually, it had some weird results with it wouldn't refresh after a while when you were playing around with the modifiers and stuff. Anyway, so that is it. That is how video and audio strips work in Blender. That's what they're made up of. Remember, it's the strip with the handles and then the video or the audio inside of it. And both of them are different and you can move them differently. And the cuts, depending on which cut you use, has a different result. And so that's why I use a meta strip on the speed control, and that is why you use the hold split or the hard cut for the freeze frame. All right, I hope that makes sense, and I've got lots more that I want to get out to you, so stay tuned and you'll see me in the next one.